Hey everyone, Ryan Young, KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu. Hope you're doing well. NYCBK, he commented on our old school versus new school video. I am a purple belt and got in a street altercation and got my ass beat. I was not prepared to transition my sport jiu-jitsu to self-defense. Ever since, I've changed my game now and I'm more prepared for self-defense, but it takes a lot of work to change my game. I am used to relaxing in positions where I can get my face punched in. Now, this is something that I've repeatedly talked about over the years on these videos, and I always get pushback on it. Now, I'm not saying that if you do sport jiu-jitsu that you won't be able to come out on top in an altercation. All I'm saying is that sport jiu-jitsu is a sport. It's not fight. Even Gracie Jiu-Jitsu done in a self-defense fashion is not fight, like street fight. All we can do is get as close to we can to simulating an actual situation. My contention is that sport jiu-jitsu is even further away from an actual situation. You want to simulate as best as you can in practice so that when the time does come, and I'm not going to say it's inevitable because most people do not get into a street altercation. Some of us do and some of us have. Some people more than others, right? Are we looking for it? But this person who's a purple belt, right? You would think purple belt, they can fight. He's telling us straight up that he got his ass beat. Here's a good thing. He got his ass beat, but I think he saw where he went wrong and is now training to better himself. One of the things though is that to get to purple belt, it takes a number of years. If you're spectacular, 3 years, that's minimum. But typically as you're looking at about 6-7 years to become a purple belt or to be a purple belt. Which means that you've developed a lot of habits. Like I talked about, the one I always talk about is letting yourself get picked up from the guard so you can get slammed. Or being in triangling somebody and getting picked up and being slammed. Or doing, hooking your arm and, you're playing under guard, guy stands up, open guard, you hook his leg and you turn yourself, right? And that's where you can go, boom, just punch straight down right to your face while you hook his leg, right? There are certain things that just will not work in a fight. And you have to decide to yourself, which is my priority? For me, it's always been a priority to have jiu-jitsu be a self-defense art, not a sport. So does that mean that I may lose in a sport situation? I don't know, I guess. Although, I look at our students who are trained with the self-defense mindset, who do go into tournaments. You could say in some situations they're trained with one hand behind their back versus a sport person, because the sport competitor has a greater repertoire of things they can do that I don't allow my students to do because it's not good in a fight. So will that handicap them? I don't know, maybe. But our students still do spectacularly well in tournaments. They don't do poorly. We do have students that lose. It's not like everybody wins, but whenever they do lose, they know exactly why they lost, and it was because they might have forgotten to do something or they didn't do something correctly. But had they done it correctly, they would have come out on top, right? It's always like that. It's never really, I got overwhelmed and, I have no idea what this person did and this person technically just destroyed me. No, it's, you got beat because you didn't do this. But I was nervous and because of that, I didn't get it done. I think that's better because you can fix that. But when you go left, when you should have gone right, and you train to go left, and every time you go to left, somebody who's intending on hurting you, he always has a punch waiting for you there. But you went left 1,000 times and you've never gone right because it doesn't work as well in competition, right? Going right in competition may be 50-50, but going right in a fight always works. Going left in a competition is 100% right, but in a fight, it's 100% wrong. Does that make sense? A lot of instructors will tell their students, do that one. Go the way that's 100% efficient in a tournament, even if it would get you 100% knocked out on the street. Because why? That's not what their market is. They market competition. But here's the thing. They also say all jiu-jitsu is the same, and it's not. They try to make people believe that just because you're a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, in their jiu-jitsu, that you will be able to deal in a fight, and that's not true. You could have a blue belt in a self-defense mindset jiu-jitsu and a purple belt in a sport-minded jiu-jitsu. Both end up fighting the same guy, and the blue belt will kick the perpetrator's ass, and the purple belt will get his ass kicked. That can happen. But if they end up, getting into some berimbolo or set up a heel hook or a honey hole or a de la hiva or any of that stuff, and the perpetrator gets put in that, then yeah, something will break. But can the sport guy set all that up while the guy is trying to punch in the face? Not necessarily he will punch him, but he's trying to punch in the face. Hickson has shown, and Dave has shown in seminars, simple, you have advanced guys that do jiu-jitsu, attend a seminar, and, they have the guy play guard. You play guard, I'll be in your guard, okay? And I just want you to do whatever you're going to do to me in guard, okay? Go. And then you see them do this, put hands right in front of the guy's face, and it doesn't happen to him. And what happens? Just like this, don't let me touch your face. Don't let me touch your face. And the guy's got, he's like this. The hell is that? Right? It's when you don't ever train it, then yes, you're going to do that. Right? Remember from the first EBI, the Eddie Bravo Invitational, whatever that, where they did the open hand strikes. I remember watching one guy who was a black belt, sport black belt, and no-gi grappling champion, all that kind of stuff. And they did that EBI for the first time. And the guy he went up against mounted him and bitch slapped him over and over and over. And that Carson Gracie Sr. saying about, you take a black belt, you hit him once in the face, he becomes a brown belt. You hit him again, it's a purple belt. Every time you hit him, he loses a rank. That guy literally had feet up in the air and hands in the air. He had no clue how to protect himself, right? Black belt competitor, not black belt fighter. Now, I'm hoping and I'm sure he's better now. He took that as a lesson learned. But how do you get to black belt in a martial art and not have any experience on getting slapped in the face when somebody mounts you? That's just wrong. But if you're doing it for sport only and you say, yes, I am a competitor, I am not a fighter. I don't say this is for self-defense. This is for sport. If you are honest about it, then you're honest about it. That's fine, right? But for this individual, I feel for you. But do what you're doing. Continue training to learn the self-defense side of it as well. Learn that there are times when you can play around and there are times that you cannot, and you have to know the difference. Train them both. Because if you do train them both, then you will have a better shot at not getting your ass kicked and prevailing when you're in an altercation. Also, sequence a possible altercation. Sequence what could happen. Starting the feet, dealing with the perpetrator. Hey, I don't want any trouble. And practice maintaining your distance until you close, right? And close, clinch, connect, take down, knee on belly. How to protect yourself from the elbow. Punch, or elbow. Gift wrap, hit. Worst position, choke out, or hands on top, get away. Knee on belly, watch make sure you see his hands, make sure you don't pull a knife or a gun out, look around for friends, do those types of scenarios so that if the time comes, you'll be trained for it. But like I just said, keep doing what you're doing. I'm sorry to hear that you had to learn of it through this way, through getting your ass beat. But I'm glad in a way that it happened because now you're learning what we call the real jiu-jitsu. Sorry I offended anybody by that, but it is what it is, right? Anyway, I hope this video helped you because I'm sure there are others that have been in this same situation where you've gotten into a fight and realized that what you learned was not really what you thought you learned. But go and learn the correct stuff. You can go online at KAATARO.com. That's KAATARO.com, and you can see our videos on the whole Kama Jiu-Jitsu curriculum as taught by Dave Kama. And you can see the ladder, everything that we have. We put everything on there. And you can also come and visit us at one of our campuses in Flower Mound, Texas, in Austin, Texas, and in Irvine, California. We'd love to have you come by. Anyway, like and subscribe. You can also come see us on Rumble and hit the links below. Anyway, take care. Happy training. Bye now.